Alright, so before we get into this video, I want to preface this by saying I usually script out my videos. I'm going to try these record prediction videos completely unscripted, so I might fumble over my words. It's whatever. If you guys don't care, or if you guys care, just click off, I guess. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. It's your next 10 minutes, probably. I don't know how long this video is going to be. Anyway, week 1 record predictions. Let's get it. Our first game, tomorrow, as I'm recording this, we have the Ravens going into Kansas City, an AFC Championship rematch. This is going to be a very fun game to watch. It's our debut of Derrick Henry. We're going to get to see the new look Chiefs receiving core. We're going to see Worthy, maybe that Mahomes to Worthy connection. But I've been thinking about this game a lot because it's the first game of the season. And I think Baltimore, I know this is going to sound really cliche and really dumb, but I think Baltimore cares about this game a little more. I feel like KC kind of just sees it as another game. Obviously, I think it's a good team. But Baltimore, they have some vendetta. I feel like they've been waiting for the game. Ever since this was announced as week 1, I feel like they have just been waiting to get their revenge. And I know it's cliche and all that. Like, both teams are going to care about the game. It's a regular season game. It could have major playoff implications. But first game of the season, KC lost the first game of the season last year. Then they're going to do it again. Could be Baltimore 24-20. That seems like a good score prediction. Moving on to Friday. Yeah, we don't really get football games on Friday, but this week we are. We have the Packers and Eagles, both in Brazil. Neither one of them are a home team. Technically, the Eagles are the home team, but that's not important. So this should be interesting. The Packers have gotten a lot of hype this offseason. They have a bunch of young guys that people think are going to have a big leap into this year. Jordan Love, Jaden Reed. Just a lot of fun young guys. The addition of Josh Jacobs. And you have the Eagles here, another team that added a pretty good running back, Saquon Barkley. So there's a lot of hype around both of these teams. But I'm going to take the Eagles. If you watch my record, not Eagles. Did I say Eagles? I'm going to take the Packers. If you watch my record prediction videos, I'm not that high on the Eagles compared to other people. I really don't think. They're like barely a top 10 team, if that. And I think the Packers are easily a top 10, borderline top 5 team in this league. They are really, really good. And I'm going to take them, let's go 26-20. That's a good score prediction. We'll say the game goes to overtime. Why not? Extra fun. All right, now onto the Sunday slate, the most fun day for football. Red Zone will be back, 7 hours of commercial-free football. Excited to see that. First game on the list I'm looking at, Falcons-Steelers. This is a very, very forgettable game that's got interesting storylines because both of these teams have new quarterbacks starting for them. Russell Wilson for the Steelers, Kirk Cousins for the Falcons. But oh my goodness, so I think this game is going to be a slog fest to watch. It's going to be punting. It's going to be a lot of quarterbacks just don't have chemistry with their receivers right away. It's going to be what this. Kirk did not play a single preseason game either. Let me remind you of that. So this is his first time in-game speed throwing to these receivers. Really dumb decision by Raheem Morris not to at least give him some preseason reps. But I am going to take Atlanta still. Sloppy game. 13-10. Atlanta wins. We'll go that. I think that's a good prediction. Next we have Buffalo versus Arizona. I guess we can lock this in. It'll be the highest scoring game of this week. That's my prediction. Both of these offenses are pretty good. Arizona's got a borderline top 10 offense. Same for Buffalo. They actually are in the top 10. Josh Allen will do Josh Allen things this game. Arizona has one of the worst defenses in the league. I don't know how they're going to get pressure on Josh Allen. I feel like Josh Allen's just going to sit there. He's going to have the ability to run, take off. He'll probably throw an interception, just what he does. And Kyler will try as he might, but I don't think he's going to be able to keep up in this game. Give me Buffalo 34-23. 11-point win for Buffalo. But I think we're going to see a lot of good stuff out of Arizona this game. Marvin Harrison's debut, and I'm very excited for that. After being interrupted, the game that we left off on is Bears and Titans. The Titans are heading into Chicago. This is Caleb Williams' debut. Fun fact, the last 15 first overall picks, none of them have managed to win their first career start. I think that does change on Sunday, though. Caleb is just that good, and this receiving core around him is that good. And the Titans have a lot of question marks, and yeah, I'll take Chicago 23-16. Yeah, solid debut from Caleb. Up next, we have the Patriots versus Bengals. Patriots are on worst team in the league. Watch. They're really bad. I have seen some people garner some hype for this team. I don't see it, especially not with Drake May playing. We know what Jacoby Brissett is. We know what this receiving core is. We know what this O-line is. And we have the Bengals over here. This is Joe Burrow's first game back. Hopefully Jamar Chase is playing. He was seen actually practicing today, so this is under the assumption he plays. It won't really change my prediction. It's just less points for Cincinnati. But yeah, give me Cincinnati. I'll give them a blowout. 30-10. Yeah, big blowout. Next we have Texans heading into Indianapolis, and I think this is going to be an upset because I'm going to take Indy to win. It's Anthony Richardson's first game back. I know there's a lot of question marks with this team, but I don't know. Indy, I feel like it's just going to come out hot this game. Their run game is they're just going to have a dominant run game. This is a game where they're probably going to have 200 rushing yards. I'm not going to lie. And they're just going to dominate time possession. They'll win. Give me 16-13. Keep the Texans offense off the field. I feel like it's going to be a pretty disappointing game for Houston week 1. Up next, we have my Miami Dolphins versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags have their issues. So do we, but the Jags have their issues. And with Anthony Weaver here, I think he's going to expose Trevor Lawrence's biggest weakness, which is Trevor Lawrence against the blitz. You watch Trevor Lawrence against the blitz, you see the stats. He's been very, very not good at it. Maybe he's improved this offseason, but I don't know. He's kind of been the same guy. He's kind of been the same guy for the last 2 years and has struggled against the blitz. So I think we're going to heat him up a couple of times, probably force a turnover or two. And yeah, the offense is going to look pretty solid. When I say solid, I mean solid for Dolphin standards. It's going to be a great offensive game for us. I don't like being too cocky because, that will always bite you in the butt. But 30-20. How about that? No, 30-23. Miami wins. Yeah, that seems fair. After that, we have the Panthers heading into New Orleans. Not the Saints. And, yeah, I don't like either of these teams that much. I like Carolina a little more because I like the direction they're going versus the Saints, who I think are going down. These are two teams I think are going to be bottom feeders in the league. So I don't want to talk about this too much. Give me the Saints 19-10. How about that? Because Carolina, it's a lot of new moving pieces for Carolina right now. Up next, we have Minnesota heading into New York. If you know anything about me, if you watch my record prediction video, if you watch my opinion on the Giants, I think they're going to be bad. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. Malik Neighbors is going to get wasted this year. I don't think Sam Darnold is anything special either. I think he's better than Daniel Jones, though. And Justin Jefferson's still on that team. Jordan Addison. The supporting cast is far better. And the defense might be better. It's close, but they're both very strong at getting the quarterback, but the secondary is concerning. But yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota. Actually, this will be a kind of high-scoring game, though. 26-23. Minnesota wins. Close game. Up next, we have the Chargers hosting the Las Vegas Raiders in AFC West battle. And this is Jim Harbaugh's first game coaching the Chargers. This is a lot of first. Just Gardner Minshew's first game as a Raider. A lot of first week one, of course. And we're gonna see a lot of running from the Chargers. And I say a lot, I mean a lot. I feel like this is actually going to be a game where a lot of drives are going to end in touchdowns, but a lot of touchdowns won't be scored. And let me explain that to you. Both of these teams are going to run the ball very, very well. Both teams are going to take a lot of time off the clock. And a lot of drives in this game are going to end in touchdowns or end in field goals, but they're going to end in that in like very long 7-minute, 8-minute drives. But I am going to take LA in a close one. 24-23. Herbert's going to clutch up at the end and lead a game-winning drive. Watch it. All right, up next we have Denver heading into Seattle. Bo Nix's debut game. And Seattle trying to avenge themselves after what was a pretty disappointing end to the season. If the Broncos are going to win this game, they're going to have to run the ball very well. Seattle has a very weak run defense. They did work on improving it. They did bring in Mike McDonald. They got Byron Murphy. There's still a lot of moving pieces that are going to have to adjust, but that is a weakness you can try to exploit. Other than that, though, I think the offense is going to struggle. And in terms of the defense, I guess you have to force them to pass. But even then, Geno's a good passer. I don't know. This is a game that I could see Denver winning. I just don't see how. I don't see the vision. But I'm not going to predict the Seahawks win by a lot. How about 17-13? Seahawks win. Up next, we have the Cowboys going into Cleveland to take on the Browns. This is Deshaun Watson's return game. Deshaun's not going to be the storyline here. Deshaun is terrible. Not just as a person, but as a football player. He's just not a good quarterback. And in terms of Dallas, they did lose some talent. And there's not going to be a run game this game. And I actually think this is going to be the one game. If you know CeeDee Lamb's my offensive player, there's going to be one game where he's not going to look insane. Okay? When I say that, I mean he's not going to look like an unhuman being. Because I feel like they're going to find a way to bracket him up. and give him unfavorable matchups, because that's just how the Browns defense is built. And I feel like they're going to get a lot of pressure on Dak. And Dak's good at handling pressure, don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I think Cleveland's going to win this game just by good defense and not making too many mistakes. Watson, basically, that's all it relies on. Browns by a point, 21-20. How about that? I said how about that so many times. I'm going to use a different word next time. Up next, we have the Washington Commanders going into Tampa Bay. This is a late game for a Tampa game. 4:25 in Tampa? Okay, interesting. Anyway, the Bucks, they basically brought back all their pieces. And for the Commanders, a lot of new stuff. A lot of old veterans, and then a lot of new pieces. A lot of new young guys. When I say a lot, I mean basically Jaden Daniels. I feel like this will be a bit of a struggle, though. I think Todd Bowles will heat up Jaden Daniels a lot. And Jaden Daniels might struggle with it. Cliff Kingsbury just does not know how to run an NFL offense. He hasn't proved to be able to do it yet. His offense works very well in college, but in the NFL it just has not translated, because this is a whole different being. And in terms of the Commanders, their secondary is still very weak. I could see Mike Evans having a very, very big game week 1. If he's on your bench in fantasy, start him, definitely. And yeah, give me the Bucks here. I don't know, 20-10. That's a good score for them. All right, and to end off Sunday, we have Detroit heading into not Detroit. I've done this twice now. We have LA heading into Detroit. This is a rematch of the wild card round, breaking a massive playoff winning streak drought for Detroit. So good on them. And I don't think it's going to be a game where, unlike how I predicted the Ravens to come out with revenge, I think the Rams are going to want to win this game, of course, but I think the loss of Aaron Donald, especially in the first game, this defense might get torched. The defense could be really, really torched, because there's just a lot of guys that are brand new. They did just lose Ernest Jones. It's really, it could get torched. And I said the Rams are going to be the best offense in the league. That is not changing. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, but it's going to be a high-scoring blowout. I'm going to give Detroit 36 to... No, that's too much. 31-20. Yeah. I think that's a good score. I think Matt Stafford... This game's going to end, and it's going to be they're driving down the field, and Matt Stafford's going to throw a pick or something, and then that game's basically going to be over. I just have a feeling that's how this game's going to play out. All right, and to end off the week, the Jets on Monday Night Football. Where do I even begin with the Jets on Monday Night Football? There's a certain feeling that this game invokes in Jets fans. Putting them on Monday Night Football seems cruel. And the opening again. So hopefully we'll actually see Aaron Rodgers play more than 3 snaps this game. And in terms of, we know what we're getting with San Fran. It's the same team. Same team minus Chase Young. And are we really going to act like Chase Young was this incredible player for them? No. For the Jets, hopefully we'll actually see a Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers connection. Please, I'm sick of Garrett Wilson getting wasted. Breece Hall should have a pretty solid game. But the Niners are still the Niners. Let's be honest here. It doesn't matter if you have a solid game. Everyone on your team has to have the best game of their life. And I actually think it's going to be a game where... This is going to be a Brock Purdy struggle game. But, yeah. 20-17. 49ers win. Yeah. That's a good score for them. So, yeah. That's the end of my Week 1 predictions. Completely unscripted. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this editing it, but, let's go about it. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to the notification bell. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.